Hey guys, welcome back to ARTFX Studios, and you're watching the third compressor test. We are gonna look at the Waves R Compressor that is part of the Renaissance bundle. So let's get started. First of all, we had through two compressors so far, the Live 9 native compressor and the Live 9 glue compressor. The glue ended up being much better and much cleaner, and as you can see between the audio files, the top one is the unaffected, uncompressed one. The middle one is the Live 9 native compressor, and the bottom one is the glue. Now you can already see that the glue has become much louder, but it's still a pretty clean compression. Now, today I'm going to be looking into the Waves R Compressor, which is a third-party compressor. It's not part of Ableton Live by default. And let's get started. So I'm going to go to my effects, compressors, and let's go to the Waves R Compressor, and I'm going to use the stereo version. So let's get started. I want a ratio of 4/1. Seconds attack, and I want a 10 milliseconds release. Now I had my threshold set at minus 23 dB, so let's see how this sounds. So on the same settings, sounds pretty good. It's a little less loud. As the Live 9, the glue compressor. But it does really bring up the tail in the drum sounds, especially in the snare. Much more than the glue. To get the same kind of feeling, I actually need to have a longer release. It's a little bit louder, or a little bit louder. It brings the quiet parts up further than the glue does. But I have to bring that gain up, that makeup gain, a lot more than on the glue. So it's still really clean. And I can set it to the opto mode. Still sounds really clean, so it's really damn good for this one. Let's duplicate this, and I'm gonna try to make a more New York parallel compression kind of style one. We're gonna have a ratio of 10, and I'm gonna have a 30 millisecond attack. No, I'm gonna have a 0.5. It's the shortest attack possible. I want a 5 millisecond release. I'm gonna stay at -23 on my threshold. And let's listen to how this sounds. Okay, now this one doesn't have a dry wet setting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna group this in an instrument or in an audio effect rack, and I'm going to create a duplicate of this chain, and I'm gonna take out the compressor on the top one. So now I can simply set this to -10. Map that to macro 1, map that to macro 1 as well. Check the mapping, do 0, 0. I'm gonna invert the range of this one, go out of mapping. So this is fully dry. Let's see, invert this and invert that. This is fully dry. So that's dry. And I can go all the way up to 127. Let's set this to about 45. And now I need to bring that volume up afterwards, because we've lost quite some. So I can bring that volume back up. Let's compare this to the Live 9. It sounds a bit warmer than the Live 9, the glue compressor, which sounds a little bit higher. But it's still much cleaner than the Live 9 version, which really distorted. It's much cleaner. I like it. Let's copy this over to the second drum break. Again, this is the transparent compression. Compare that to the Live 9 compressor. It's much louder. And this is the glue. It's in fact louder than the glue, but it sounds pretty good. I can back off that gain a little bit. We're getting some longer tills on the snare with this compressor. Definitely really nice clean compressor sound. Now let's check the New York style compression on this one. I can boost it pretty high without getting distortion. So yeah, it definitely sounds good, but I need to boost the volume a lot to get that same kind of level as with the glue. But that is because this one doesn't have soft clipping, and I have really pushed that into the soft clipping inside the glue because I want to see how good these compressors are and how loud they can actually make things. So there is actually a glue compressor that is not applying any compression at all, but it's just sitting there with the soft clipping turned on. So anything that I boost here that goes over 0 dB, as you can see, I'm really going in the red right here, but that is being cut off by the soft clipping right here. So by doing that, I can still sort of like give you show you how this plugin is capable of making this drum sound big. It sounds a bit warmer. Now, let's see it on a full mix down. I'm really interested in seeing how it's gonna perform on this. Let's set things up. I need a ratio of 4/1. I want a threshold of minus 20 decibels. I want an attack of 60 milliseconds, and I want a release of 10 milliseconds. Let's see how this sounds.
Now let me tell you the things you don't get.
We're getting quite some gain reduction now, so I'm going to back this up off a little bit.
But now let me tell you the things you don't get. They gon' get funky.
I just realized that it does actually have soft clipping. I mean,
But now let me tell you the things you don't get.
we're not going over 0 dB. So, yeah, it sounds good on a full mix. There are some things that you need to be aware of. When I set it up entirely the same as the other ones, I'm getting much more gain reduction than I was getting with the other two compressors. So I had to set it up a little bit differently to get sort of like the same result.
But now let me tell
I think it sounds pretty good. The drums punch through really well. Yeah, it sounds good, but it's not as loud as the glue. It just gets a lot more volume out of it. But it is actually louder than the Ableton Live 9 native compressor. And it's a bit warmer now. So that's pretty good as well. Even though it's not as loud as the glue, I still think I prefer this one over the glue compressor. Especially on the full mix. I don't know, it just makes the full mix sound pretty well. Maybe a combination of the two would be good. because the glue really helped to make those drums sound good, make those initial transients come through the mix. And I think that if I would add this one after the glue to bring the level up to a pretty industry standard level, I think that would be the best choice to do. But as you can see, I now have done 3 compressors and they all sound completely different. And I haven't really done much different. I mean, I'm doing the same things, I'm setting it up about the same way, looking at my gain reduction and adjusting accordingly, but they all sound completely different. So, that was it for the 3rd compressor test. Next week, again, there's going to be a 4th compressor test. I don't know which compressor we're going to do yet, but I have a whole lot of them, so let's see what we are going to end up with. For this, I hope you like this, and I want to ask you, please like, follow, subscribe, everything that's in the screen right now, because that's helping me a lot to keep on growing and getting better and better and better. You can subscribe this channel too if you want. Every week there's going to be updates, every week there's going to be tutorials, there's sample packs, preset packs. You can find a lot of stuff on my website. Yeah, and other than that, I just hope to see you back next week in Compressor Test. Peace.